Hi.
Whoa, this
Are we already on?
Great.
Yes, man.
That was fast.
Cause you taking your fucking time, making up some drinks over there, my friend.
This is great. I love this room. Dude, did you get the pictures I sent you?
Yeah, I did. Whoa, it's kind of loud. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of CO in Rome.
This is Yo.
And this is Rome, and this is episode number 43.
Yeah.
We're joined by Jonathan, the legend.
What's up? What's up?
And before we jump into anything, just want to let you guys know that if you want to cop some merch, head on over to afgoclothing.com. You can cop yourself a t-shirt, cop yourself a hoodie. If you want 15% off, go ahead and enter this discount code.
Zio and Rome 15. That's XIOANDROME 15 gets you 15% off.
Yeah.
Cop you some merch. Wear it. Tag us. Take a picture. Tag us in the picture. Let us holla at you.
Yeah. And also, we are the best podcast of 2018 undisputed.
That's correct.
If you want to dispute it, shoot us an email at coandrome@gmail.com.
Correct.
Yo, how's everybody doing today?
Feeling good. Feeling great.
I'm feeling good. I don't know if I'm feeling as good as you are. I'm working on it.
All right, everybody, look, I'm drunk, so
She's not drunk. She's definitely like,
Tipsy.
yeah.
it's daytime. Daytime drunk
Buzzed.
is different.
You love daytime drinking.
I think daytime drunk. Whoa,
Daytime drinking.
I prefer daytime drinking over nighttime
yeah,
drinking.
that's what I
Most
mean.
definitely.
In comparison,
I don't want people to think I drink in the daytime all
Like,
the
I
time.
feel like you
but I
daytime-
love daytime.
I
Drinking.
feel like daytime drinking to you makes you like happy. Where
it's
like
fun.
nighttime drinking makes you tired.
Yes,
Yeah.
it sucks.
That's all right.
Daytime drinking is that deal.
It's
we
fun.
just came off that champagne brunch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Living it up.
And I feel
Trying
like
to live our best life.
champagne gives me a good kind of drunk.
Champagne makes me kind of well, it depends on the champagne. There's been some champagne that I've drank that literally make me violent.
Really.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because it happens so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad.
My mom, one time we were at brunch and she had champagne. She's not a champagne drinker, and it made her a whole nother person.
Exactly.
Champagne, I mean, different drinks affect people differently. I feel like with champagne, the thing that's really odd is that I have to have quite a few glasses of champagne before I even feel anything.
Really? Because it
Yeah,
tends
it's
to creep
so
up
weird.
on you.
I don't know. Like, sometimes I drink champagne and I don't feel like anything.
Dude, one time I drank rosé because I was in a VIP section with a whole bunch of my homeboys and they were just passing a bottle around. I've never, ever, ever been more violent in my life. I wanted to kill everyone.
From rosé.
Yes.
Bows.
I kid you not. Everybody would be like, Zio, can you please look at me while I'm talking to you? I'm like, no, I'm fucking killing this bitch.
Now I know. Now I know what to do. We need to
Rosé didn't
squad
make
up.
you feel rosé.
No.
Pass the rosé.
Yep.
Set it
Hey,
off in his bitch.
Squad up.
Speaking of, I do have a story time later that is very squad worthy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to share
Very
it.
squad up-ish.
Yeah,
Squad
before we get into
up-worthy.
the spiel of our normal things, I want to give a quick shout out to Valerie.
Yes.
She actually recently started to pursue her dreams and started writing a blog.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually, in her second issue, I guess you can call it, or her second blog, she actually spoke about us. And her blog is actually called Rebel with a Cause.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to check it out. Again, that's Valerie. Shout out to you, girl. Thanks for that.
So what is it? Rebelwithacause.com?
Rebelwithacause.com, yes.
Okay.
And you can find her on Instagram as well.
Sounds good. Valerie, thanks for featuring our podcast. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yo, so before we get started, I'm over here Googling stupid ass random shit
As usual.
because my arm and my shoulder's been bothering me. Like, it feels like it's burning sometimes. Like, today it feels really numb. And I just want to let everybody know that if I have a stroke,
Seriously?
what? This is me documenting part of my life. If I have a stroke, holla at a bitch. Like, visit me, send me some snacks.
Don't say that.
Make sure you tell everybody how awesome I was before I had the stroke. All that shit.
Shut up.
What? I'm just saying my arm fucking is killing me.
Okay, but
And
I
I'm
mean, it could
looking
be
it
so
up.
many different things.
It could. If you know what.
WebMD and Google always gives you cancer or some side of crazy
Yes.
shit. Yeah.
Yo, if you guys know what this is, it's like my skin, it feels like a sunburn, except I don't have a sunburn. And then sometimes it feels numb. It's like so weird.
Maybe you have a pinched nerve.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking it is.
Yeah.
You be escalating it to the like.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. So my cousin was losing feeling in her legs,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like thinking all types of things. They were thinking lupus. They were thinking
MS.
yeah, they were thinking all types of crazy things.
Yeah.
After so much testing, and this was like a year and a half of this happening.
Mm-hmm.
They found out she had a pinched nerve like right underneath her butt
Mm-hmm.
cheek, like by her thigh, back of her thigh, and it was a pinched nerve that was making her so there was like therapy, but then if therapy didn't work, then they would have to like go in and like unpinch the
Yeah, I was
nerve.
about to say, how do you unpinch it?
Yeah, like therapy sometimes does it, but then if not, then they can go in and actually unpinch the nerve, which is a more dangerous procedure, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yo, we need to unpinch this shit, man, because I don't like it.
What if it has something to do with that little vein catheter thing that they put in your arm when you were in your... You never know. You
ago.
could, yeah, you
I
never
don't
know,
know.
though.
It's just a very weird feeling. So, yo, keep me in your thoughts, man.
Dead ass, though.
Oh, before I jump into my shit, CEO's going to get into current events.
Yeah, I have a couple things that I wanted to touch on. So I was reading an article that said New York City admits to at least 800 kids under the age of 6 in public housing tested high for lead.
Oh.
Wow.
Now, I
I'm
personally...
not surprised by that, though.
I'm not surprised at all. Like while I was reading it, I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. And I actually know someone that is our age that his mom sued the city when he was about 8.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have to work up until recently because they settled for so much money because he had lead poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
This led me to think of what we spoke about last week, which was all these high rises being built in the, urban cities, and how everything's becoming more gentrificated. Is that a word?
Gentrified.
Gentrified.
We know what you mean.
For the third time.
Whatever. Listen, I just feel like we're spending so much money in doing these high rises and modernizing these cities that have been here forever. Why aren't we spending money in these housing projects or these buildings that should be updated so that it takes care of the people that have been there forever?
Well, I mean, you got to think like some of these projects, like who's responsible for maintaining those? Is it the city? Whereas the gentrification, a lot of it's developers that's taking over. So sometimes it's all about the source of the funds and how those funds are being allocated. Yeah, it sucks.
Because I'm pretty sure the city's going to make money off of those high rises being there in one way or another.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what I was going to comment on is that I'm surprised that this is still an ongoing issue, because I remember back when I was a kid,
yes,
that lead paint was being phased out, and that
there was testing in every
there
building.
was big testing going
Yes.
on. Like, I used to live in an apartment building back at the time. And there's kind of this joke about this, one of my cousins actually, who mentally is a little woo,
Because of lead.
and the joke is because he used to eat paint chips.
That's the same
As a
thing
kid.
with that's
Yes.
the same thing from the guy that I was telling you about.
And no disrespect to anybody listening to this, but I'm just keeping it a buck with you. My cousin, one time he showed up wearing these big ass glasses, right? Like the ones that people wear now that they think are cool, but like back then it was like old man glasses.
Yeah,
like
what
why are you wearing
doing?
these shits?
Yeah.
And he had on a hat, and I'm like, what the fuck are you wearing, bro? And he was doing it to cover his eyebrows because he fucking shaved his eyebrows off
Wow.
for no fucking reason. But like, he's not right, but it is suspected that he may have had some exposure or ate some like lead paint chips and all that.
Poisoning.
So yeah, that's not the move.
Yeah, and the kid that I know, well, the man now, but he as a kid, he was known to be really, really violent at times,
Mm-hmm.
always angry, and they would always say it was because it was due to the lead that he ate. And I mean, I don't know how true that was or if he used that as an excuse, but Listen, that's crazy to me. 800 kids under the age of 6.
I mean, and that's a current test. So I'm just wondering, like, how has it gone this long and this is still an issue?
Exactly.
Do you know how young these kids were when they ate these lead chips?
I'm sure they were kids, like smaller than 6. If it's under 6 and they're just finding out that
it's a current test.
It's currently happening. Like, this is.
Well, you're talking about the dude that he's older now, right?
Oh, it was when they were kids.
Yeah.
When they were kids.
Yeah.
Where do you find these lead chips, and what does it taste
the
good?
Paint on the wall.
It's made with lead.
What happened was there used to be lead-based paint, and they didn't realize the effects it could have on people. So, like back in the late 80s, early 90s, there was this thing where I was like, "Whoa, you can't fuck with this lead-based paint anymore." And now they have paint with no lead in it that they're supposed to like go over with.
And then you have. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say what I'm getting at is that it must have started where these kids lived, they didn't have any food to eat in the fridge. Because I'm like, what is it? If you got plenty of food in the fridge, what motivates you to eat these things? Do they taste good?
No,
you got plenty of food in the fridge.
No, that's kid
all
shit.
These things.
That's kid shit. So like you're gonna eventually, when you guys have your own kid, you're gonna realize that you can't put anything in a child's hand because eventually it's gonna be in their mouth. Right. No matter how hungry they are, whether they're not hungry at all, it's just it's like from what I hear, kids tend to have more of texture feel on their tongue than they do on their hands when they're first developing.
Like it's more sensitive.
So they tend to put everything against their tongue or inside of their mouth to figure out the texture rather than touching it.
Yeah. I guess it's like I'm just overly doing a whole logic thing where it's like I'm thinking to myself, like, we have a dog and I'm like, he could have any food he wants, treats, all that good stuff, but he'll still eat his own shit. So I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, he's not malnourished. We are feeding him, but he still wants to eat his own shit.
And I think it's just the curiosity of it all.
Just curiosity.
I think that's some kid shit. So
I
think it's fucked up.
I guess my thing is, like I said, this has been an issue that's been going on a long time. I'm surprised it's still an existing issue. My question is, has there been any response from any of the responsible parties? Like if they are public housing or what?
It is public housing.
Okay. So has anyone responded on a governmental level in terms of making sure that these lead-based paints are like not a thing?
There supposedly have been, switching that out, but you have to take into consideration how much public housing really is in the inner cities.
I wonder if it's in the water.
I don't know. It's very possible as well. Like you have to think these projects in the city, especially New York City, it's not just, let me see where else Massachusetts, for example. I've seen quote unquote projects in Massachusetts, and they're like mini houses. They're not like high rises or walk ups or anything like that.
Yeah. So in Buffalo, they have some projects called Redwood Village, and they look like little houses, but like it'll be like one big building that'll have like maybe 4 or 5 apartments, but it's like
so you would think it'd be easier to execute all of that at once. Now, when you have so much project housing that are high rises in the city, and there's probably like 10 floors with 8 buildings.
I still think it's bullshit, bro.
I don't know.
Think about it. We're in our 30s, and when we were kids, this was a problem.
You don't think they're going to use that as an excuse?
I think it's a bullshit excuse.
I think it's still something they're going to use.
I think over 30 years, or let's say over 20 years, is enough time to repaint all of the fucking walls.
I just feel like with all the technology that we have nowadays and all the changes that we're experiencing as a world as a whole, why is there still lead paint?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm thinking. Is this old paint that never just got painted over?
I think that's
because
exactly
I don't think
what
they sell lead paint anymore.
That's exactly what it is, which only goes to say that you're not,
you're not on your fucking job.
Not only are you not on your fucking job, but I think it should be mandated that once a person moves into this house, you make them aware that paint has lead in it, so that they can make the decision on whether or not they have kids if they want to live there.
So I guess my note to everybody, since this is the first I'm hearing of this today, maybe figure out a way to go about testing for lead in your home
yourself,
and make sure you and protect yourself and your kids. I think everybody needs to be more aware about what the fuck, like what you're living in.
I think that if someone is in there doing their job, then you should definitely be doing yours.
You got to do what you got to do to protect you and yours. So look into ways to figure out how you can test or detect something for lead. I don't know if you call someone to come out, if there's a device or
There's got to be some sort of device.
yeah, there's got to be a way to do it. So if you're concerned, definitely check into it.
Agreed.
All right, you got another current
Yeah,
event?
moving along. I know that you guys have probably heard about the song "Boot Up." It's definitely that shit right now.
Oh, yeah.
A boot up.
It's on the top of the charts right now.
Ba-doop, boot up.
You make my heart go ba-doop, a boot up.
Dude, I am obsessed with that song, even though I feel like now it's starting to get overplayed. But that happens. However, it has also become the song that every celebrity or singer, whatever you want to call it, is trying to remix.
Yes.
And I just recently saw T-Pain remix it, and he kind of leaked a little bit of it on a live. I must say, I honestly feel like T-Pain is extremely underrated.
Oh,
Oh,
definitely. Even without the auto tune, he's amazing.
Even without the auto tune,
He's a very
he's got a
good
genius
musician, yeah.
mind. Like he reminds me of a, not as crazy, but as like a low key Kanye that doesn't necessarily get the credit that he deserves. Like he,
Okay.
you don't see that. I mean, as far
I
as
don't think he gets the credit that he deserves.
He's
I'm not saying
he's underrated.
I'm not
He ain't on
saying that
Kanye level or close to it, but he's
hip
up
hop
there.
is completely different when it
Yeah.
comes to Kanye. But I wouldn't say T-Pain is hip hop.
What would you say he is?
I would say he's pop.
He's R&B.
I don't know about R&B.
I don't know.
I
It's
think he's pop.
weird.
He's a fusion.
He
of
might be a little
pop,
bit of a
hip hop,
fusion.
R&B, all that good
I
stuff.
don't know if he's hip hop.
He's very talented. I can say that. Is
Shut
like,
up, the apple bottom jeans.
yeah. But I heard that song, the Boot Up with T-Pain. Like majority of the whole video,
yeah, he did
he's
a
like,
lot of it.
he's not even playing the song. He's like,
There was two.
y'all niggas want me to, y'all.
Yes.
I can't believe y'all niggas didn't put me on a remix, and then he leaked his part.
Dude,
It was dope. It was
He's
dope.
underrated for
I
I
sure.
wish
Hear
I wish
it.
T-Pain would come back.
His mixing.
He needs to come back.
His mastering of all of the melodies and the beats, the way he puts his lyrics on his own like I personally am like, god damn, like this nigga always amazes me.
My issue is the remix, the official remix with Nicki Minaj and whoever the fuck. That shit's trash.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
That's why
Yeah.
when I heard the T-Pain one, I was like, god, what? Come on. I want to listen to this.
T-Pain needs to be the official remix because we weren't really feeling the Nicki Minaj one.
It was trash, bro.
Yeah.
Everything Nicki Minaj is. I don't like Chung Lee. I don't like.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I
I,
don't
can't
like
agree
the
with
other
that.
one she came out with, the Barbie Teens. I don't like the song Bed that's out that the video just dropped. I don't like anything. She needs Safari back.
She fell off.
I
She needs
definitely,
Ever since Safari left, it's been going downhill. She needs to get back with him.
Word.
listen, I haven't listened to Bed yet, so I can't make that
It
judgment.
is very trash.
I
haven't heard it
definitely
either.
liked Chun-Li. Like,
You said you definitely liked it?
I liked it. I was like, this shit slaps. Like, this shit was,
Really?
yeah.
It was cool to me, but it wasn't like Cardi B. I like it. Like it wasn't like her track. Now that slaps. But Nicki's Chun-Li, it was cool. You know, I could see me still getting it in the club.
Lyrically,
think
it's
that,
trash.
I think that maybe what I liked the most was her ad libs when she starts speaking, and she's like that everybody needs someone that they need to blame and blah blah blah. I was like, damn, you know what? This fits in like this whole scenario right now. I'm feeling this shit.
Yeah, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to be
You stand
Scarface.
behind your keyboards. Yeah, like I feel it. I'm alright with it.
Yeah, I'm done with her.
Anyways, T-Pain. That's where it's at right now, fam.
Yeah,
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 T-Pain
yeah.
needs to have that official remix.
Boot Up needs to be T-Pain's remix for sure.
Noted.
Okay, last current event. I saw this movie on Netflix. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. It's called Brain on Fire. No.
Brain on Fire?
Brain on Fire. No?
I
No,
don't think
haven't heard
I
of
don't
it.
think we
Okay.
caught that.
So it's a movie about this young lady.
Is Tyler
She's-
Perry on it?
Who?
Is Tyler Perry on it?
No.
Okay, never mind.
And it's this young lady who she works at a newspaper, whatever the Post. I think she actually worked in the New York Post, if I'm not mistaken. Anywho, so
Is this fictional movie?
no, it's based on a true story.
Okay.
And the young lady actually was extremely smart, very like she was on her way up. And she just started having these really weird headaches, and she started to like be almost like delusional. She would see spots on her arms and tell her friends like, what's going on? Then she started having like crazy outbursts, and it was very, very, very scary, to the point where like the doctors were like, she's schizo, like she's a schizophrenic person who needs to be put into an asylum or whatever the fuck you call them nowadays.
Yeah.
And there's this one doctor who was like, there's more to this, there's more to this, I know that she's in there, I know that she's in there, this isn't who she is. Anyways, after extensive testing and even doing a biopsy on her brain, they found out that she had developed an infection in her brain, which then basically was causing her body to attack itself and causing all of this like delusional manic episodes to her on her. And they were saying how like a lot of people who are diagnosed with schizophrenia probably actually have this disease, and nobody has taken the time to actually, so they're just put away in these mental hospitals and given all these medications, and God knows what is actually happening and going on in there if somebody would have just taken the time to do a little further research. That's scary to me, because you know how many people are diagnosed with schizophrenia a year?
So schizophrenia, they're now saying that with schizophrenia, it's not just a psychological thing; it's actually an actual disease.
No, well, they're saying that it's a misdiagnosis sometimes. Like, people are diagnosed with schizophrenia when they can possibly have this one brain infection that this young lady had.
So it's basically giving off the same symptoms, but the root cause of it. Like, sometimes people are just getting written off for schizophrenia, but they're really not getting the proper diagnosis.
Right.
It could be something more. It could be disease related,
like a chemical imbalance or some shit.
No, but she's talking about an infection in the brain.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then this girl, like, when she got her treatment, there was this one doctor that ended up, like I said, treating her to the point where she slowly had to like learn everything again. She had to learn how to walk again. She had to learn how to like write again. She had to do so. You have to watch it. It's such a good movie.
I don't think I can watch that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Well,
it's okay.
A lot of people should watch it, because I feel like I'm almost certain that this happens a lot.
Here's what I will say about this. Just as a person who struggled with medical issues, especially specific to your brain, and your nerves and all these different things that are going on in your body. Like, dude, you really have to be your own advocate to get a fucking diagnosis. Like, I think I went like 2-3 years suspecting that I had multiple sclerosis. And every time I went to get seen, I was being like brushed off. Oh, it's just sciatica. Oh, it's just this. Oh, it's just that. And I had to really just keep like collecting my notes and doing my research, and kept pushing back. And I feel that in order for a person like in this scenario that has a brain infection, they got to push. They got to push to get looked at, because doctors are not like taking it a step further on their own, unfortunately, a lot of the times. What else? What I was going to say? Oh, I had a coworker that her sister has like a lot of health complications and things. And she said, I'd noticed that the side of my sister's face, it was like kind of getting puffy and lumpy. Right?
Yeah.
And we just kind of didn't know what it was, but we didn't think anything of it, and was just like, your face is a little swollen. Your face is a little swollen. Your face is a little swollen. 7 months later, they find out that it's a fucking tumor. So she's like, wow. I just feel like I've been sitting here watching my sister, noticing that her face is getting swollen, and I find out she has a fucking tumor in her head. Whereas if we would have just pressed to get it looked at in while it was smaller, that maybe this would be a lot easier. So, I do feel it's important for people to watch documentaries like this. I just think I'm dealing with my own trauma, and that's probably like I need to tread lightly. Mm-hmm. But what I will say is that, especially amongst minorities, we don't like going to the doctor. We don't like getting checked. We like brushing shit off. But like sometimes you got to get looked at like on a real fucking level. How many people find out that they have cancer, and then when they find out it's like already in stage 3 or 4?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Happens a lot. So yeah, I think I'm gonna look into it.
I feel like it's a double-edged sword too, though, as far as like what you're saying about going to the doctor and stuff, because although as minorities we definitely don't go to the doctor nearly as often as we should. Mm-hmm. I also believe strongly in the take that doctors tend to just feed you with pills and and all of these diagnoses without actually knowing for sure what it is, and then you come out with bigger problems than you actually even had to go in with. So you kind of have to be like, yes, no, you have to be aware. If something is truly wrong, and you maybe get a second opinion, maybe see what else is going on. Like, there's ways around it. So I can understand where people may be a little hesitant when it comes to visiting the doctor, though.
Yeah, it could be a very scary thing. And I think, like, a lot of times you go to the ER, the first thing they do is a CAT scan, but it's very rare that they do an MRI.
Exactly, which shows
Very
so much
fucking
more.
rare. Very fucking rare. So, you know, if you ever have the opportunity to team up with like a neurologist or a certain type of specialist that can give you that referral to get an MRI with contrast, without contrast, like that can reveal a lot that's going on in your body.
Yes.
Because the thing is that with MS, I'm just going to talk about that because that's what I'm familiar with. It's a disease that reveals itself in your body, but it's the root of it is in your brain. You know, like I'm not walking around with brain pain. I mean, I do have migraines from time to time, but it's other shit that's going on. And a lot of people don't realize all these different sensitive sensories and things that go on in your brain that really play out in your body. And
the signals that it throws off to the rest of your body.
And what we eat, like, I need to practice this more. I'm starting to get a little better with my eating, by the way. But cell regenerating foods and like diet practices like intermittent fasting and things like that promote new and healthy cell growth and all those things, like that shit can like legit kill a fucking disease or not give a disease an environment to breed itself. So these are all definitely things that I think we all can work on being more aware of. So I'm gonna definitely look into that for sure.
Oh, show. That's it on my current events file.
Yay. You mentioned something about a movie, which made me remember that we've seen a couple movies.
A couple.
We saw The Purge and
the first Purge.
The first Purge and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
I watched The Purge.
The Purge I felt like
You
was
saw the first Purge? Oh, okay.
I felt like it was too in line with the second Purge that came out in terms of inner city and the politics, and like I feel like even in the second Purge movie that they, like, the government had people invading the projects to try to kill those people off. Like, it had that same flavor. Like, it was different. But I feel like the first Purge was an affluent family. So I was hoping demographically, like, they could switch it up a little bit. But they didn't really switch it up that much.
Well, I think that it was probably because it was a prequel, right? So it was kind of giving you the timeline of where it initially started, and then it continued into the urban cities, and then it probably, which was the original first Purge that we all saw the first movie, it transferred into other cities like suburban America and you know, all of these things. But I think that that's probably where they were going with it.
Yeah, I do feel character wise in terms of main characters, like this one was like more minority lead characters, whereas the second one, was inner city, it had homeboy that plays the Punisher.
Yeah,
whatever it was.
It was
main
more
dude.
mixed.
Yeah, the first Purge movie was Ethan Hawke. They're protecting the house. I know the third one. I don't remember the second one, but the third one was election year.
Yes.
Oh, so there's 4 purges.
There's 4 purges.
Okay.
There's the Purge. There's
so
the
election year had the homeboy from that was the Punisher.
Purge. No, the Purge Anarchy was, I think, Punisher do, and then Purge election year, and then the first Purge. There's 4 Purge movies. I don't remember the Purge Anarchy that much though. I remember Purge and Purge election year.
I thought this was the 3rd Purge movie, so
Did
apparently
you
I
guys-
don't remember something.
Did you guys stay past the credits?
Yeah, like
Did you
that they're
see-
gonna
Have a series?
Yeah, they're gonna have a series on the TV
crazy.
show. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like it's kind of taking on a Saw feel.
Or
taking a
Walking
what?
Dead.
The Saw field
Feel soft feel.
No, like the movie
the
Saw.
the Saw movie.
Okay.
Like it's taking on that vibe.
I can see that. Like they're trying to do their whole universe or their Purge universe. I mean, the first Purge was a good movie. It was decent. I thought that it was just like your average Purge movie. It was nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary.
Would you all recommend
And
it?
it just carried it. Like I probably wouldn't pay for it. I'd probably see it on Terrarium or something, or wait till it gets on streaming. That's in high def quality, but I mean, it was okay. It was all right.
I would only recommend it if people have seen the other ones. Like if it's something that you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go watch this movie. You won't like it.
You don't think you'll like it if you've never seen the person? I think you can still enjoy it.
I don't think so, in my opinion.
Like if you saw it, let's say you saw it as a timeline. You saw the first Purge first, and then you saw regular Purge. Anarchy.
You mean in
like,
real time sequence?
and in like the timeline sequence. That's a possibility.
Perhaps.
A lot of it was filmed in Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo.
In the
Below.
Perry Projects, Fruit Belt area.
Genesee.
I had the Mr. Softy truck in that bitch. I miss Mr. Softy. Yeah, so that was kind of cool.
Yo, what if we open a Mr. Softy truck down here? What do you think will happen?
I don't know, because I feel like I've heard them here before, but
Really?
I feel like there was one
Ice
time
cream
I was
trucks.
hearing
Not ice cream trucks, not Mr. Softy.
Yeah,
but
there's
ice
a
cream trucks.
difference.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. You mean like a truck that has like a soft serve machine
Yes.
inside? That they dip it in that?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Might put Twisty Treat out of business.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like people not like really right now in
So like
Tampa,
an ice cream food truck.
pretty much, because
Yeah.
they have soda cans. Sometimes they even have hot dogs. I know Mr. Softy that came around my hood had hot dogs. They had all types of stuff. So, they had the fun dip.
I just
Remember
remember
the
the
fun
banana
dip?
split being the jam. My Uncle Booby used to love the banana
Yo.
split.
There was lots of things that were good about Mr. Softy besides
Yeah.
just the soft serve ice cream.
Yeah. So Mr. Softy was that deal. Like if my dad gave me money to go to the ice cream truck, that was my fucking day, man. Like what?
Yeah, I love me a Mr.
Wow.
Softy.
Like I can do it today? Because you hear that motherfucker every day. You know?
Mr. Ice Cream.
Okay.
Man. Mr.
So
Ice Cream,
Ant-Man
man.
and the Wasp was cool. I enjoyed that.
I haven't seen it.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I recommend it.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. It was kind of like, okay, we're being more calm now as far as, because we just got off Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War, which was like a lot of going on, and holy shit, it was very serious. This was more of a kind of like, okay, it was a comedy movie.
Light, funny,
It was light,
family
fun,
friendly.
Still enjoyable, a lot of action, but definitely wait for those end credits. It kind of, I'm not going to give it away, but it kind of bridged what happened to within Avengers and Infinity War.
Yes. Yeah.
So definitely check out that. If you're a Marvel head, you would stay for the credits anyway.
Yeah.
But it kind of connects the two.
Word up. So, here's the deal, you guys. I have two stupid topics, and I have one rant,
Okay.
and I have one story time. That's going to be really long.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
One. I was watching an adult film recently when I was by myself.
What?
Jonathan's giving me the look because
By
he didn't know.
yourself.
I do that all the time.
So listen to this.
Me too.
There was a white girl. There was this white girl that had these big hoop earrings, right? And I just noticed like not that many white girls wear big hoop earrings, like unless they're like from the hood
That's true.
or like got gypsy vibes or whatever.
Or fuck around with somebody who is from the hood.
Yes.
Yeah,
So my thing is like I love a good big hoop earring. And I feel like a lot of Latinas, like we wear hoop earrings. I just wonder like why don't we see as many white people wearing hoop earrings? Like they don't got to be hood bamboo earring door knockers, but why do they like wearing small earrings? Like is there a stigma associated with big hoop earrings?
I don't know if there's a stigma.
Are you
My
less classy?
personal opinion is that I think that most, let's not generalize, but most white girls tend to feel that dainty may be better to be a girl, like to have like that dainty fragile feel look to them. And I think that hoops tend to be more like bold and statement pieces than dainty.
I don't know, because I feel like I even see bold white girls that are like edgy, hipster, whatever.
I just
like,
think they can pull it off.
maybe they feel like
I
they
feel
can't
like
pull it off.
Who wants to be a millionaire? Let's phone
I don't know,
a
'cause my
white
baby
girlfriend.
daddy's
Let's
new
call her
baby
right now.
moms
And have
wears
them
hoops
answer.
earrings, and she's a white girl. She's a German white girl,
Okay.
but she's also from Philly. So
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah,
Yeah. I
So
mean,
white girls that have been in maybe an urban neighborhood,
yeah.
they're
I
gonna
think
wear
that
them.
it's they
But
they
white-
have that vibe.
white from a white neighborhood probably won't.
do you think we get judged when we wear big hoop earrings that we look ghetto?
For sure. I think so.
I don't think so.
I think so. I had this guy that used to like me. And his ex-girlfriend was a white girl. And she never wore hoop earrings. And I guess that there had been a conversation at one point where he had mentioned to her that he can't date girls that wear hoop earrings because it's not his style.
Oh my God.
And then he was like trying to fuck with me. And Sio, if anybody knows, is a hoop earring type of girl.
Yes.
And she called him out on that. She was like, oh, I seen the new girl that you're trying to talk to. You said you never liked girls that had hoop earrings. And he's like, yeah, well, she's different. And I'm like, oh,
I'm
my
different.
God.
Well, I'm just realizing now, I didn't even think about it. Both of y'all are wearing like hoopish.
Oh, and this
feel
is
like
small for
earrings.
me.
Yes, and this is
I didn't
conservative.
I didn't even realize it. Like, I didn't even think about it. Like,
I feel like without a hoop, I just feel naked.
I feel
like I've been wearing hoop earrings all my life.
Me
It's
too.
just so hard not to.
Me too. So this is small in comparison to what I would normally wear, but I personally feel that because I have a typically small round face.
Mm-hmm.
Hoops kind of give me the feeling where I have more shape to my face rather than just like this big round thing. I don't know if it's just personal the way that I view it, but that's how I feel, which is why I always put hoop earrings on. Like it makes me.
I feel like I look more like a turtle when I don't wear wear the hoop earrings. I feel naked or too plain.
Yeah,
or
too plain
it's
for
so
sure.
Weird. So
because you have the short hair now.
No, even when I
even
had long hair. It's even worse when you have long hair because when you wear little earrings, it looks like you don't have any earrings on.
So I will do a full face of makeup sometimes when I'm going out without putting my earrings in yet. And I'll be like, damn, like, what am I missing? I check if I have my mascara. I check if I have everything. And I'm like, let me put my earrings on. I'll put my earrings on and it all comes together.
It all comes together.
Where I'm like,
I'm here.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Ready to go. Yeah, very interesting. Maybe we should do a documentary on hoop earrings.
I'm with it.
I feel that that's a big cultural staple. It sounds fucked up, but
you know where
I really,
we should
really
look into
do.
too? What was the where did it originate from? Like, why hoop earrings for like mostly, hood urban cities or where? Like, where did the original hoop come from?
Yeah.
New York hip hop.
Let me
90s.
put this in the video. Let me put this in the video idea notes. I'm gonna put hoop earring documentary. All right.
The 90s New York hip hop.
Next topic. I came across a meme today. I sent it to CEO, and I just want to know what everybody thinks about this. Okay, there's this new term called hatfished, and it's when guys wear a hat all the fucking
Hilarious.
time, and it says make them take it off before it gets too serious, so you can know what they're working with underneath that hat.
Yes.
Now, I know quite a few guys that are struggling in the hair department, whether it's receding, balding, pushback hairline, whatever the fuck. And I just want to have a roundtable discussion and see what everybody thinks about this. Jonathan, since you're the male at the table, why don't you give us
I'm the male. I'm not choosing the dudes though.
No. But I want you to explain to us prospectively, like, if you know guys who are struggling with thinning hair, like, is it a stressful thing? Do you know anyone that's really trying to cover it up or self-conscious about it? Like, what do you think about this?
I just think that no matter what you're going through as a guy, as far as thinning or whatever, you should just own it. For white guys, the whole comb over thing, don't do that. Just shave your head. There's other ways like that you can do as far as to help you regrowth the hair, the minoxidil. You can put that on your head. You can do different types of hairstyles that match kind of like the thinning or the balding, or you could just shave it off. There's all the ways around it. But if you don't do anything to it, you still need to do something to it to feel good. But just covering it with a hat, I don't necessarily agree with that, because it's like you eventually got to take the hat off, fam. So it should still look good even when you take off the hat. So just do what makes you feel good, but like both wear the hat and take care of yourself as far as your head and how that looks, and haircut and hair bald wise and all that good stuff.
Okay. What's your view on baldies and all that?
I agree to a degree of what you're saying. If you're balding, guys, honestly, let it go.
We don't give a fuck.
Let it
I know
go.
I don't give a fuck.
I do not care. Like most girls actually don't care. They might have the few shallow ones, but most girls do not care. If you're balding, dude, let it go completely. Shave your whole head if it makes you feel personally feel better. But
if you're not gonna shave it off, you can even get like a really low cut,
and it
as
still
long as you
blends
look
in.
groomed,
Yes.
You
like
still get
a
low
bit,
cut.
you still gonna get the pussy, dog.
Word.
Not mine. I'm just saying.
As long as your
pussy in
personality,
general.
is okay. Like that's over. Nobody cares about that stuff. If you personally feel like it's gonna make you feel better to let it go completely and just look like you have a completely bald head, or like Rome said, you're blending it in, whatever the case may be, nobody really cares. But stop hat fishing. I want to be able to take your hat off and see that you're not trying to cover some shit up. Now, there are some moments where you'll take a hat off of someone and it's not that they're balding or anything like that. They just have a big ass dome. They may have the Neo thing going on. There's nothing you can really do about that. But honestly, you might as well be honest about it. It is what it is. I have a big head.
The more that you wear these hats to cover it up, it's creating the deception. I actually knew someone that we weren't really dating. He was afraid to date me because of our age difference or whatever. It was stupid. So one day I was like, you know what? Every time I see you have a hat on, I was like, I just want to see what it looks like underneath. And when he took it off, it was really bad. Like not only was he balding, but it wasn't groomed at all. And I just kind of feel like if every time I see you, and it's been months and months and months, I've been knowing you, I've never seen you without a hat. And then you go to take that hat off and you don't have hair. Like that's what makes for the dramatic reaction. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you're like sometimes with a hat, sometimes not with a hat, and you're not acting weird and insecure when you don't have your hat on, like let that shit rock. Let that shit rock. But I feel like, listen, there's a lot of different things that a guys can do to make the whole bald head thing not be an issue. All you got to do is have some swag, be clean, be groomed, go to the gym, whatever. Like you could do a lot of different things to compensate for thinning hair, and a bitch still gonna fuck with you. I think that there's actually some balding thinning guys out there that are quite attractive. What's the name of this guy that's always in the fucking movies? He's in that movie about the megalodon.
Jason
Statham.
Yo,
he's hot. Now there's also
Dude,
ways
that's
to
that's an example of somebody who owns their baldness.
yeah, like ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
There's
when I
also
look at
ways-
him, I don't look at him and be like, ooh, his hair.
Yeah.
Right.
There's also ways I think that you can kind of offset that, especially with the trends that are happening nowadays. I think that if you have a bald head or you're balding and you shave it completely off, having a long beard, like your beard game being strong,
Yes.
I think that's a good look. I don't know
Yes.
why I'm like into like beards right now.
Yeah.
You know what? What I will say though is if you have a bald head, what I don't like is when your beard is way too bushy for your face, because you have a
Yeah, there
super
has to be a
bald
middle
head
ground.
and a super big bushy beard. It's a little overwhelming. So I think you got to find the right bald
Balance.
to beard
Ratio.
balance. Right bald to beard ratio.
Bald
Yes.
to beard ratio. is
Yeah,
the
that's a
first.
thing. That's a thing.
Yo, yeah, that is a thing. You
And
heard it first here on the Sion Worm Show.
the Zog Thomas asks, I told him we were going to be talking about being hatfished or whatever. It's not loading, but I believe what he asked is, what if the guy is completely bald? That's what he says. Is it considered hatfishing if you're full on Mr. Clean with your dome, though? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Because you're bald. Like,
Yeah, I
you
don't
ain't
think
get- you
that's
ain't gonna
hiding anything.
You're not hiding nothing. No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, again, like I said, make sure people know what it is. Like sometimes be without the hat, sometimes with the hat, whatever.
I don't find anything less appealing about a man that's bald. I think that as long as you're taking care of yourself properly and you have all the other, great dynamics as a person, then you're good to
You
go.
can still be sexy with the
Hell
bald.
yeah.
I'm just letting y'all know.
Yes.
Like y'all overthinking it.
Deadass though.
Word up. Hey, I have something to say.
I got something to say too. Go ahead first.
I'm so fucking sick of men body shaming women.
Okay, let's talk about it.
And I'm about to let y'all niggas know.
Let's
I'm
talk
so
about it.
fucking sick of you. I am so fucking sick of your shit, okay? I was.
Do you want to give an example?
Sure.
Okay.
I was on social media minding my fucking business, and I saw a dude in the comments talk about how he noticed they were actually talking about Wheezy from Horrible Decisions, about how she's gaining weight.
Okay.
And listen, I don't know this girl from a can of paint, and I don't know what she's going through with her body or whatever the fuck. But you niggas don't know what the fuck we deal with as women. There's a lot of things that can affect our weight going up and down. And I don't need you commenting on my fucking weight.
Word up.
No, we don't need that. We don't give a fuck what you think. Okay. And this is the shit that's pissing me the fuck off. For every motherfucker out there that got a problem with a bitch's weight, like, I hate when they comment on a bitch's weight and the bitch ain't even fucking fat. That's the shit that really drives me crazy. Oh, you got that little pudge. You got that little fupa. Yeah, all that
Fupa?
shit.
That's the
Fupa.
thing. It's called
I've never heard of that.
Fat
upper pussy area.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot all about that. Wow.
Anyway, fuck all y'all. Okay.
Listen,
Fuck all y'all.
I'm stressing that last part that you said. For every nigga that has something to say about
For
a female's
every
body,
nigga that I got something to
there's a
say
nigga out there
about
trying
a
to
bitch's
smash.
body, it's another nigga out there that thinks you the greatest, awesomest shit out there. And it's
Amen
just
to
like
that.
everybody opinions are like assholes. Everybody fucking has one. You motherfuckers need to just focus on the shit that's important to you. Worry about your bitch, worry about your female, worry about your own fupa, because you acting like you got a
Are
pussy.
you-
Like, I'm sick of them.
Are you
okay?
talking about like on social media or something?
Social
Like
media?
when a
in
celebrity
general?
posts their picture and people are
It
making the
doesn't matter.
comments?
Celebrities,
It's a real
real
life thing,
people,
too, real
whatever.
people.
Like, oh, she's cute, but she's kind of fat. Like, what? Like, there's no reason why I should be within an earshot of any man making comments about a woman's body in a negative way. I feel like those are private conversations if you want to have that with your significant other and offer that feedback.
and there's ways
But
to
that
approach
outward
that as
criticism
well.
is fucking trash to me. Like, I can't understand a dynamic where it's appropriate for a man to speak negatively about a woman's body. It's like, you don't even
I think
fucking
it goes
know.
both ways. I think women probably speak negative about dudes' bodies too.
I
probably.
think women are more embracing of men's bodies. I feel
think
like
so?
women are more
Accepting.
likely, more accepting of men that are overweight.
I think men.
we got
tends-
problems with man boobs sometimes, but other than
I do
that,
agree with that. I do think
Men
women
are more
more
shallow on
women
that
are more
sense.
well publicly, or maybe on social media, women are more accepting. Or actually, no, I take that back. Women are more accepting of dudes' bodies.
I know that
All
for a
right.
fact.
I stand corrected.
Big men be looking like, oh, he's a boss. Oh, he's a big
Yeah.
teddy
He
bear.
got money.
Oh, he's,
Yeah.
like
I agree.
teddy bears be getting love until the titties get too big. But that's a whole nother conversation. Man titties, that's a hard thing to get around.
And even
Man
and even
tits,
then
man
I know
boobs.
and
Yeah.
even then I know women that will bypass all of that and they love that nigga, they love his boobs and everything.
Baby powder,
Yeah.
son, you good.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I can't understand if the woman didn't come to you, you're not her personal trainer. She didn't come to you for feedback. I just
Yeah.
don't understand. Like, I'm going to be real with you. I got this dude that I know personally. Okay. He's a cool dude. And I was so shocked when I saw him commenting on social media about Rihanna when she was performing Wild Thoughts at, some Billboard award show or something like that. And he was like, oh yeah, you could tell that Rihanna's struggling with those dance moves ever since she gained that weight and this and that,
Oh,
whatever.
wow.
And I'm like, you sounding like a bitch right now, fam. Like, no diss. If you listen to this, you probably don't. But if you do, I'm just saying, yo, fucking chill. But all of our bodies are different. You fucking never know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
And we don't need that shit. If a bitch want to be fat, let her be fat, fam.
She's not even fat.
That's what I'm saying. It's even
Yeah.
more mind blowing when they
Yeah,
not
she's not.
fat and you
Yeah.
commenting that they are fat. Like, I just don't like the fat shaming, especially from a man to a woman. That shit drives me nuts. And I want you to stop. Don't do it around me. I might just let you know. what's
Now,
up.
as far as what Jonathan was saying, you're saying I feel like women, are body shamers too. I don't think they're as bad to men, but they are to
each
other
other.
women.
I was just about to go there. I do think, like, I'll say for example, if I see on social media like these IG thoughts, IG models that have the fake tits or the fake asses. Me personally, whatever makes you feel good, do that. Get plastic surgery, whatever. women go hard dissing women with fake asses or fake tits. Ew, that's disgusting. That's so disgusting. I think
sometimes it does go too far.
I think they should. I think
it.
they should chill on that too. Women go hard dissing other women. Oh
I
my
agree.
god,
I
it's
agree.
terrible.
I think that I agree. I think that if we're gonna hold men accountable for the things that they say, then we should hold ourselves accountable too. I can personally tell you that there are certain times where I feel like the fake asses or the fake boobs are not necessarily appealing. I don't go ham and I'm like, you fucking disgusting. What the fuck?
If it makes if that makes them feel good, so the fuck what?
But in my personal opinion, I feel like as, let's say, 120-pound female, if you get an ass that looks like Kim K, as long as that makes you feel good, more power to you. But my opinion is, you pushed it. There could have been a way for you to have been looking a little bit more natural and still had an ass.
Sure.
But because you're so hyped on the trends that are out here nowadays, you pushed it to the limit where now you're going to have to deal with that for the rest of your life. Now, what happens if that trend
Unless
goes
you
away?
take it out.
Okay, here's the thing. And taking it out is not an easy thing.
thing.
No,
it's not an easy thing. This thing K Michelle went through was a very
Grueling.
she had to find someone
that would do it.
like that would be willing to do it. And it's not
Yeah.
easy because she had like the basement ass shots.
Yes.
She didn't have like just
Oh,
a
she
silicone
had a
injection.
professional.
No.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. First of all, body shaming on any level is fucking whack.
Right.
Okay.
I agree to
Yeah.
that.
Now, I feel like there's a difference between me laying in bed next to my husband, like, whoa, this bitch's ass is out of control.
Absolutely.
Versus me commenting under her photos, like, oh my God, your ass is fucking disgusting. Or, oh my God, look
What
at
are
this
you
bitch's
thinking?
ass. Or,
Right.
you know, that's the thing. I just feel like a lot of people have the audacity to get on public platforms and express their opinions like it's law. Like, no one gives a fuck. You know what I mean? I feel that in terms of having an opinion about bodies, I do feel a natural look is more appealing overall. I have no problem with women getting plastic surgery.
Agreed.
But I do feel like when it crosses the line to where it doesn't look natural anymore, if you're happy, that's cool. But that's just not my cup of tea.
I agree
But
100%.
I just feel like try to keep it natural. If it's like, I see people in real life all the time that they ask me looking like, whoa. But
And then their legs look like fucking toothpicks.
what I'm not gonna have though is bitches with fake body shaming fat bitches either. Like,
You didn't get that body on your
Well, I
own.
haven't seen that.
oh, that happens.
A lot.
That happens, and a lot of it is because
Wait,
they're so critical of
chicks that have
themselves.
fake bodies.
Yes,
Shaming
bitches
other
that are
chicks.
out here getting lipo, breast implants, tummy
okay.
tucks. They're like, oh my God, she's disgusting. If she's
Okay.
overweight, and oh, shut the fuck up, you fat bitch. Like, what the fuck you talking about, bitch? You got a fucking lipo, and now
Right.
you think you the shit and can just let everybody else know what's wrong with their bodies. Overall, I think just on a public platform, anybody criticizing anyone is fucking terrible. I feel like for me, if I'm not into dudes with man boobs, I don't need to fucking sit on a fucking pedestal and just shame every man that has man boobs. I just need to make a personal decision for myself. Like, I ain't gonna fuck with a dude with man boobs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just make personal
Right.
decisions as it relates to your own life, but you don't need to be out here broadcasting to everybody your hate or whatever towards overweight people.
I also know women that got plastic surgery and shame other women that looked like them before they got the plastic surgery. For example, I've personally have seen girls that have gotten ass shots talking shit about girls that have no ass, saying don't be mad because I have money to afford getting my butt done.
Right.
Like, it's
What?
a status. It's a status discussion. It's that all that shit's petty.
I would say my only thing as far as any type of shaming, and I don't agree with body shaming at all, but my whole thing is when I see on social media that there's a difference when people post it between thick and fat. Like, and what I mean by that is
So
that
slim, thick,
when there's a post saying, oh, we got these curvy ladies and they're like super like obese, like that's not thick. There's a difference. That's probably my only thing.
I'm gonna be real with
Like
you.
there's a difference between thick and obese.
I don't
That's
even
it.
think that's a conversation worth having personally, because when I was like, there was this one time I had lost a lot of weight. I got down to like 140 pounds. And there were people that were like, oh, you're losing too much weight. Oh, you're losing too much
people
weight.
said
Oh,
that to
you're
me
losing
before,
too
too.
much weight. And it's like, you know what I've just, as a woman, and knowing that there's so many people out there that like different things. Like when I was 140, there were people that looked at me and thought I was fat. And then there were other people that looked at me and thought I was too
Perception.
skinny. Or there's
All
times
around-
where
all
people
across
are
the
like, oh,
board.
you're
Right.
fat. Oh, you're not fat. You're thick. There's
Right.
there's so much. That's up to the beholder.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true.
I
It's up to the
And I feel that
definition.
that's just a dangerous zone of people putting themselves in a position to determine what's thick and what's fat and whatever. I don't even respect that term thick. It's not like a real thing to me.
Yeah.
It's like either you look good or you don't. You're healthy or you're not. You're overweight or you're not. If you're a little overweight but you're healthy, like, do you?
Well,
like,
that's my only
fucking
thing.
cares?
That's my thing. It's like
You could be 300
when
pounds and healthy when it comes to these lab charts.
That's true.
Well, I don't know about all that. I don't
That
know
is
if I agree with that.
That is a fact.
That you
is
can
a
still
fact.
be you can still be healthy.
You can be over 300 pounds
When it
and
comes
get
to
a
lab work?
cholesterol. You not have high
What's
blood
the
pressure.
height?
It doesn't matter. Like, I've seen people that obviously you look at them, you could tell they're obese. They'll go get blood work. They don't have high cholesterol. They don't have high blood pressure. They don't have any health issues whatsoever.
I've seen that as well.
It exists. They don't have diabetes. They don't have none of that. Obviously, there's more people that once they get obese, they have these health complications. But there are also people out there who are obese that have no sign of any medical issues.
Those are
currently.
those are few or far in between, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, being
It
that
exists.
we're not in a position, we're
The
not
majority
doctors.
of people who are obese are unhealthy. Majority.
Yes, but this is the thing. I don't think anybody should attack an individual if you don't really know and understand
Sure,
the
I
facts.
agree
Like,
with that.
I've seen people say to a fat person, like, "Yeah, but you're unhealthy." Like,
How you
I'm
know?
unhealthy because you're looking at me and see I'm
Right.
overweight.
I agree with that.
Like, I don't think that stuff is fair. I just think that
I
people
agree.
are out here playing God, like they know what the fuck's going on with someone's body. Like, everybody needs to just fucking chill.
And let's be one-
Everybody needs to do them and mind their own business.
Not even just that. I think
Straight up.
everybody
I
needs to be
applaud
aware
that.
about the fact that it's like, let's be 100, regardless of whether you are at your best health and I am or I am not. There's something imperfect about all of us.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There may be things that you're keeping under wraps that you don't want other people to know that is imperfect in their eyes or your eyes, but it's still very real in each and every one of us. So stop it.
And there might be shit going on in your own body that you may not even be
know
aware
of.
of.
Exactly.
You know, and I just feel like a lot of that energy can be dedicated to making sure that you and your family are living the best and healthiest life. So it's going to continue because people have opinions. Social media is like a diary where everybody feels they can post whatever the fuck they want, which is
Yeah.
cool. But I'm just saying that if I see any dudes body shaming women, you can get it. I'm going to just start letting y'all know.
Anybody body shaming anybody.
Can get
No,
it.
I just feel like especially
Men or
men
women.
body shaming women. That's
Yeah.
like crossing the line.
Yeah.
for me.
This is actually
Okay.
a perfect segue to something I want us to talk about.
Yeah.
What do you think about, in this day and age, women being the new dudes?
What
In
you
terms of the alpha in the relationship,
As everything, as terms as the alpha in the relationship, as
Oh
terms
my
of
God.
not giving a fuck about what, you know how back in the day there was a lot of double standards when it came to females. Like, if a dude slept with 4 girls in 2-3 weeks, he was considered that nigga, and girls were shamed on it. Now I think it's starting to flip where girls are kind of like, I'm doing me, I don't give a fuck, call me what you want. This is what I'm gonna do. I don't fucking care. Y'all niggas do it all the time and don't get labeled, therefore I'm going to do that.
I do. I've even seen situations where wife is the breadwinner, husband's the stay-at-home dad, all that. You know, I'm an advocate.
That works for some people.
I'm a proponent of everybody doing what works best for them, their
Sure.
family, their relationships. I'm not here to judge any of that. If it works for you, you're happy, do your thing. In terms of sexuality, here's my thing. Again, what's going on in your bedroom is not everyone's business. And the moment that you make it everyone's business by speaking about it's your right to be able to sleep with Bill, Joe, Bob, Dickie, all within a 4-date range, if you put that out there and then people start to form opinions about you sleeping around, then it's like you kind of open that door by telling everybody about your sex life.
I feel like that about dudes too, though.
Yeah.
I feel like if dudes can say, oh, you know, I smashed shorty and then I smashed this shorty and then I smashed that shorty, you're still a hoe too.
Yeah.
Like, I can be a hoe, but you can be a hoe too at the end of the day. And listen, I feel like those labels need to stop, honestly. What's up, Jonathan?
Well, all right. So here's
I'm
my
drinking
thing.
champagne. Be careful with what you say.
I'm drinking champagne too. Champagne and Ciroc. Here's my thing. We're all adults. You know what I'm saying? We're all adults at the end of the day. So whatever makes you feel comfortable, do you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
The whole what you eat don't make me shit.
Yeah, exactly. Do you, male or female? Now, you just named the situation like if there's one dude and one chick that he's fucking a lot of women or she's fucking a lot of dudes,
We talked about the lock
I
and
will
key.
I will have more respect for the dude because I do believe that takes more skill for a man to fuck multiple women.
Not nowadays.
I think for a woman it's easy as fuck that if she wanted some dick she could get some dick just at the snap of a finger. It's way more it's way easier than dudes getting multiple women.
It's probably
But
easier, but it's not as easy.
It's easier. Yeah, you didn't say that right.
Hold on. It's probably easier, but
You
it's
said it
not
right.
as easy as you think it is.
Yeah.
It is easier, but I think it's a lot easier. I think a dude literally has to have some game, kind of talk, kind of be upfront.
No, because you guys are dumb.
You don't think that we're spitting game the whole time?
A woman could literally be.
No,
you could literally be a
we
chick.
gotta finesse that shit.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
I'm
you do.
finessing.
A chick could text. A chick could be
We
like.
gotta finesse the penis all the time.
Not even text. You could go in to a bar within 10 minutes. Have a suitor.
Yeah, but it's not going to be
Quick.
the suitor that you want. You could see a dude and want him to knock it down, but you're going to have to like approach. You're going to have to play coy and you're going to have to like lead him and hope that
That's
he comes
what I'm
on to
saying.
you.
So with us,
can't-
you guys think that you're the only
It's
ones that are
hard.
playing a game. We are
You think it's harder? It like legit.
It really is. When I was single,
I don't
there
know
was
if
a
it's-
drought.
I
Like
don't know.
real talk.
I don't know if it's as hard as what you're saying, but I do know that it's not as easy because for example, what I'm trying to say is that you're saying you have to have game, you have to approach correctly as far as guys. For girls, it's the same thing. You guys think that we're not playing this game, quote unquote game that you guys are, but we're giving you the green light. We're giving you the
Yes.
motions to come over and talk to us.
You guys give the most slightest subtle things hints that we don't even get sometimes.
Because we're
Because you
shy
guys are
too.
idiots.
That's what I'm. Well, like I said,
And sometimes
Here's
guys
the
be
thing.
like, "Oh,
Here's the
I didn't
thing.
know you liked me. I thought you were just thirsty." I'm like,
if
"Oh
a
my
dude
God.
is trying to talk to different women, a lot of women have different types of personalities. All these things. Here's my thing. If when a woman wants to talk to a dude, you're probably thinking that it's hard because you think you're gonna get judged. You probably think
Rejected.
Rejection
all
is a
these
big
things.
thing.
But I'm trying to tell y'all, if you're a single lady and you want the D, you can easily get it straight up in a club. It ain't even hard.
I think it's. I don't know.
I don't- I say no.
Listen. You
But
have to
anyway,
understand we're speaking from
this is a whole
perspective.
different topic. But to answer your question, like I said, we're all adults here. We can do what we want. Do what makes you feel comfortable. Whatever man or woman, whatever roles you're playing, if it makes the relationship work and it makes it click, fucking do it. I don't care.
I just feel like the labels need to be gone in all aspects. Like, I feel
agree.
like when people are like, "Oh, women are not supposed to behave that way,"
No,
or it's
no.
not ladylike for that, or a man is supposed to be a hard worker and go to work all the time, or have multiple jobs and support. Listen, all of that needs to end. Yes, it's important for us to all stay in our lane, but that doesn't mean that it's a specific lane that we have to be in.
Look, I think it all comes down to compatibility because you can have two broke motherfuckers on welfare and food stamps, happy as fuck, living in a
Facts.
little apartment. You know what I mean? My thing is this. I work a job full time. I'm out here trying to get paper. I'm always looking for opportunities to get more paper. So it doesn't make sense for me to be with a dude who loves to sit on his ass all day, play video games, not eat real meals, not make real money, not want to contribute to this household. Like, of course, I'm going to have a certain level of judgment if that's the type of dude that's trying to be with me. You know what I mean? I just feel like Jonathan said, if it works in your relationship, that's cool. It might not work with me, but I'm not going to sit here and act like my perspective, my perception, what's going on in my world, like my standards apply to everybody else. And that's why everybody gets fucked up. They think that their individual standards should apply to everybody else in the world to be a perfect place. And
Correct.
that's just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
What's your thought on this?
I just feel like it needs to stop altogether. Like,
Yeah.
people are saying how I said, these roles have reversed, or like girls should still be this way or guys should still be that. No, it doesn't matter. Whatever the scenario is that works best for everyone without the labels is what needs to happen.
Now,
and that's it.
I do want to clarify though, like I don't lose any respect for any woman that's
You just won't fuck with that woman.
I still would. No, here's my thing. I don't lose any respect for any woman that goes for what she wants and she's getting with different dudes. I don't care. You're single, you're doing your thing, and you're, you know, like I said, you're going after what you want. I will still fuck with that chick. Even if she is like that, she knows what she wants. She's upfront. She's straightforward. What I'm saying is that if we're comparing the two between a guy and a woman,
Yeah.
I would probably give more props to the dude because I'm like, it actually probably takes skill on his part to knock those ladies down. For women, I don't think it's much, but like I said, I don't lose any respect for her. Like I said, she could do it. She can knock as many as she want. I won't like judge her.
Right,
I won't call her a slut. I won't do
but
anything.
That's my
those
point
things.
exactly. I feel that guys tend to do exactly what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
It's like giving each other props where they feel.
I'm not gonna dap a chick. Oh, you fuck mad dudes. I'm not gonna do that.
I'd
but
dab
know what I'm
one of my
saying?
homeboys or one of my bitches. If they were like, yo, blah, 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 I did this and this and that, I'd be like, yo, that's what's up. Or if or even if I didn't agree with it and I didn't want to dap them up, I'd give them reasons why I felt like it was wrong.
I'm not gonna say it's wrong to the chick either. That's what I'm saying. I'm like balanced. I'm like neutral. I'm like, that's what's up. All right, do your thing. You got what you want. Like, do you like have fun? But with the dude, I'm like, all right, that's what's up. You
What
did
is your
that.
thoughts?
Speaking of whores, I have a story time, and I want to know if this person's a whore.
Okay. Proceed. We just said we weren't going to label anyone, but I will
We're
tell
not,
you if they're
but
a whore.
I don't know. Let's see if I'm a hypocrite after this story. So I have this guy that I used to work for, and we're cool. You know, we're I would say we're friends. You know, I care from like a friend. You know, and he hits me up out of nowhere earlier this week, and he's like, "Yo, what's up? Want to come over and have some drinks? You guys can come over and blah 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 blah." So once he said the "you guys" thing, I figured, you know, the invitation's extended to both myself and my husband, you know?
Right.
So I'm thinking his girl gonna be there. So I'm thinking it's like some double date at the house, having cocktails, having a good time. Except we show up, which by the way was a 45-minute drive in the fucking rain. It was ridiculous. Anyway, we get there and it's just him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I so-and-so and I broke up, right? I didn't tell you." And I'm like, "No." So he gives me this whole fucking rundown, bro. First of all, him and his girl, she was going to school upstate. Right? And while she was upstate, I believe he was contributing to her education. Okay. And she started working at like a bar, waitressing or something by the college. They both somehow have mutual friends in this town. So they're like, "Hey, let's go up there for the weekend, hang out with our friends." They get up there, they're hanging out with their friends, and his girl says, "Hey, there's this guy I used to work with. Let's say his name's Tim.
Okay.
Is it cool if he comes through?" So my boy's like, "Yeah, he can come through." So Tim comes through, and her and Tim are just all up in each other's shit, right? Which was a little weird for my homeboy to watch, but he was like, "I'm not the jealous type," so it wasn't a big deal. So they're driving back home from out of town, so it's a long ass drive, and he's like, she's just texting Tim the whole ride, and all she kept doing was talking about Tim, how much she liked him. Is it okay with you if I text him? Yada yada yada. Now to pump the brakes a little bit, his girl's bisexual, openly bisexual with him. And they've had conversations about how she feels she's missing a piece of herself because she hasn't been involved with a woman, this, that, and the third. So they've had conversations around whether or not they could invite another woman in the bedroom, if he's okay with her being with another woman on her own. And he's never really found like an answer to those questions. He's kind of like, I can better answer these questions if it's in front of me. And
Right, if it's happening.
yeah, it's like really hard for me to speak on that, you know? So I guess he may have given her some sort of indication that he's at least open to her at somehow being sexually involved with other women, whether it's with or without him. Well, apparently she in her mind seems to think that she can approach him and be like, is there any way that I can have a thing going on with Tim but still be sexually involved with you, because Tim and I have a lot in common. We're really hitting it off. It's just so great. What do you think? He's like, hell fucking no, right?
No.
So things get really weird between them, obviously, right? Now, these two, my boy and his girl, had plans already in place to go live abroad in Europe somewhere, okay? He got accepted to a school out there. They're about to go live their life. Her dream long term was to live abroad. That's always been her jam, right? So I kind of had the vibe that my boy was really only looking to go to school out there because she's always wanted to live out there, right? So he's literally gonna dip in a couple weeks, and she's supposed to be going with him, right? So here's what she says to him. Hey, between now and the time that we leave to Europe, Tim and I want to see each other as much as possible.
What the fuck?
That's what we want to do. He's like, are you fucking serious? Right? So it gets to a point where he's like, this shit ain't gonna work. She needed to move out. Yada, yada, yada. But before they broke up and moved out, I think she did go back out of town, like just a few days after they got back. She couldn't resist it. While she's up there, he's like, she was like texting him the whole way up there. But once she got up there, the text kind of stopped. So he did what a real nigga would do and went through fucking computers and phones and shit like that. And found out that they're infatuated with one another. They were texting so much. He said they were like novels. It went from text to email. She gets back. He's obviously asking her if they fucked. And she's like, we did everything else but fuck.
Lies.
Well, he said he believes her.
Oh, really?
And the reason why they didn't fuck
Dum dum dum.
is because he has herpes.
Yep.
Everything else consists of still getting herpes besides fucking. Sorry. Break it to you guys that don't know.
So the shit's crazy, right?
I can't.
So he's like, you got to get the fuck out of here, right? So she's staying at mom's, right? And they're fighting all the time, whatever.
I hope that they haven't
He's
had
doing
sex
his thing.
since that.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But they're officially broken up at this point.
Okay.
But nigga's still trying to go to Europe, right?
Right.
So she's like, is there any way that we can get legally married so I can get my visa to go to Europe
With you?
with you
After
Hell
all
no.
of this was said
Yeah.
and done.
Yeah.
after all this shit?
What the fuck is who? What?
Nah.
So then he's like, hell the fuck no, right?
Good.
And that's the squabble. And I'm thinking the story ends here, right? So I'm like, you know what? Fuck that bitch. Pack that bitch's shit up. Tell her she could pick it up at the door. Because now she's like starting to spew all this hate to him. And it's because basically he's interrupting her game plan of her life. She's
Right.
thinking she going to be fucking with Tim. She's still going to Europe. She going to have her cake and eat it too. But
No,
now that she see
sir.
it's not going that way, she mad. You know what I'm saying? So last night I'm drunk and high and watching Ratatouille, right?
Very good movie.
And my boy texts me that his ex-girl's mom is holding some of his personal items hostage, including his degrees that he needs to be able to get his visa to go to Europe,
So
amongst
wrong.
other things. So the thing that's funny is my friend's like pretty, not conservative. He's just a very, like, he's not a HUD nigga. You know what I mean? He ain't HUD. But the text he sent me, and this is how I know he was mad, is that he says, yo, right? The text starts with yo. If I could pull it up. Man, I ain't got no signal up in here. Here he goes. Sorry, guys. Yo, this bitch's mom is tripping. He don't even talk like that.
Is he a white boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
He don't even talk like that. Yo, this bitch's mom is tripping on me and holding my personal items hostage. So I'm like, whoa, time out. So I'm like, is this a squad call or what? Because everybody needs a squad when you're going through some shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Holding his degrees, his chess set from his grandmother, some wine, some other shit. So I basically had to like coach him through this.
This is great.
So I want everybody out there to know, if you have someone that you was fucking with and your personal items are in their possession, it is actually illegal for them to withhold you from your personal items.
100%.
And if you have trouble getting to that person, getting into your house to get the things, all you have to do is contact non-emergency police, because we ain't petty patties. Permit patties or whatever the fuck.
Permit patties.
We're not a permit patty. You call the non-emergency line. You're like, listen, my ex-girl's a bitch. She won't let me have my shit. Can you please come with me over there so I can get my shit? And what I would also strongly advise is that you make a very specific list of items that you feel that are there, so that when you do get there, it's not a discussion of, oh no, that's not yours, that's mine. If you have a list before you go in there and you give that rundown to the police or the sheriff or whatever, it's very clear what items are yours. And you're not just going in this person's house,
Right.
pointing at random shit you want to take with you. So long story short, he went over there with the popo. Moms wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
And he got his shit.
Good.
So
Got him.
as for the shit that she left at his house, he needs to just pack that shit up, have her come pick it up. But
Leave that shit on the porch.
with all this said, he did text me saying that he hopes he can be a topic for today's podcast. And he didn't care about us sharing. And I feel like people could usually enjoy a good story. So if there's anybody out there going out with drama that wants to hit us up, like, just DM us.
We'll keep you anonymous.
And we will give you that good advice in the heat of the moment. Because when you mad, you don't be thinking straight sometimes.
That's true. Even the things that you would normally come up with very quickly is always out the window.
When
Like,
you
don't even
mad,
think
you
about
like,
it.
what the fuck? All you're focused on is the end result. You're not thinking about how to get there.
Or like, have you ever been really mad and then like you finally calm down and then you're like, fuck, why didn't I think about that? Like, you start to think of all of these other things that could have taken place while you were so upset.
Well, I was even mad for him last night, but I was also watching Ratatouille. But I was like, you know, it probably would have been a good idea in hindsight if he would have packed her things
and taking them
and
at the same
taking
time.
them at the same time. Could have dropped her shit off, could have picked his shit up and been completely done with this bitch.
Yes. 100%.
But yo, shout out to my boy, you know, going overseas, get his doctorate or whatever the fuck. You better than me, man, because I ain't about that school life. But yeah.
Good for him.
Some
for
fuck
getting his
shit.
shit
Yeah.
back and still going to Europe.
Have you guys ever
Shout
been in a
out.
situation where someone's tried to hold your items hostage?
Never.
No, because I'm never the girl that ends up being in a relationship and cohabitating in someone else's shit. It's always been the other way around. So, and then even with that, I'm never the girl to hold things hostage from someone. I'll be so okay with packing your shit up and have it waiting for you at the door. Come get your shit, boo.
I was
get
waiting
it.
for you at the door.
Like, you can either have it at the door if you're nice. I will throw it in the trash bags and put it outside. Like, I don't try to be spiteful. If it's done, it's done. There's no reason to be extra about it.
Mm-hmm.
But how you act is also going to be how you pick this shit up.
Yeah, that shit is mad petty to hold somebody's shit.
Yeah, that's
The thing
stupid.
that's
That's
difficult are things that are acquired throughout the relationship and determining who gets what.
True.
That's a different thing.
That's a whole different thing. But what I will say is this. This is my final criticism on this whole thing. The same way I was able to give this man some sound advice on this matter. If I was in his shoes, I probably would have went about that shit the whole wrong way.
Yeah.
What would you have done?
I probably would not have called the non-emergency police.
You wouldn't have, you're the one that gave it to him.
That's the thing, because I was watching Ratatouille and I was
You're in
feeling
a calm
nice and I was
setting.
able to give good
You
advice.
also knew the type of person that he was. So
I
you
knew
were
the
like,
type of person.
yeah.
I know you're not about that life, fam, and you don't need to be. You got a good thing going. Me, on the other hand, I would have been like, bitch, I'm coming.
Give me my shit.
Get ready because I'm coming, and I am not leaving without my shit. Best believe that. You don't want none of this. I will fuck you up if my shit's not in perfect condition.
Yeah. There's and that's some real squad shit too. Like, for example, so we have a homeboy. Well, we had a homeboy. And he was messing around with this shorty, and he was staying with her for a little bit. And when something went down, she kicked him out, but wouldn't let him get the rest of his stuff.
What?
So he called me and Amanda, and he was like, oh, this girl won't give me my shit back, blah, 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 whatever. And I had Xavier. So I was like, damn. I was like, Mo, I can't go out there right now, but this nigga needs to get his shit back.
Yeah.
And she was like, say no more, fam. I'm on it. She drove her happy ass all the way to Shorty's house while this nigga was waiting on the porch, was banging mad hard on Shorty's door like, yo, we ain't got no problems, but you better give my man's his shit back, because if not, we gonna have some problems.
Yeah.
She definitely made sure that Amanda got all of this nigga's shit, so that she was able to give it to him. Said she just didn't want him in the house. She was like, that's fine, just give me all his shit. And Amanda took care of it, gave him all his stuff back, and
there you go.
That's some squad shit.
And that's
the right way to do it.
A decent... The squad shit, you feel is the right way to do it?
Yeah, I think.
I feel like calling the police and being civil is the best way.
No, because that's a good way too. Because it's like, if she doesn't want to see him, but she's still allowing him to get his shit by another person, then the squad.
But I think that was
then
fear.
The squad is the mediator. The squad is the pressured mediator. I think it's okay to like. So if our example of the gentleman, I can't name his name now, earlier in the example, if he would have had a squad of women that said, we're getting his shit or whatever, then those are mediators.
That's dangerous, though, because in the state of Florida, the stand your ground shit, you show up on someone else's property and they decide to get violent with you.
No, if they... Here's where I'm coming at. If they would have just said, hey, we know y'all got some problems, but we just want to get his shit for him, and they're okay, then that's fine. That's a mediator. But now if they're like, fuck you, I don't want nobody to get my shit, then it's cool to call the non-emergency line and the police, all that bullshit.
Yeah, I just think the squad approach is dangerous. Like, yo, if you don't give my man this shit, we gonna have some problems, and then start nothing.
You ain't got to say it like that. You ain't got to say, hey, you could say it in a peaceful way. You'd be like, hey, we know y'all are going through some problems, and we just want to pick up his stuff. Mm-hmm. Can we do that?
Yeah, but you said her way was a good way to do it. But she said that she told the girl that if you don't give him his shit, it's going to be some problems.
All right, well, I mean...
I feel like it's good to be mediating about it and to try that first. And if like what you're saying, I feel is a good situation.
Right.
Go there by yourself. If that's not working out, then call non-emergency. I feel that's a good way to do about it. Or come with a mediator, a middleman. If that doesn't work out, then call non-emergency.
There's steps to it, yeah.
Yeah, I do feel that that's a good approach. Definitely. But I feel like it's dangerous squatting up. But I feel like I'm so crazy that I need someone like me to talk me down if that were to happen to me. We all need someone that we can turn to when we're being crazy.
I'm the type of squad that my friends don't even got to tell me squad up. I'm ready.
Okay. What you doing?
What am I doing? I would try to talk to the person first. Like I'm saying, whatever the shorty I'm having problems with, if she's not about that shit, then yeah, I will get a lady squad up and have the chicks talk to the chicks, work something out, and if she still ain't about it, then you go to the next level of the non-emergency police.
All right.
And then if that don't work, fucking lawsuit, sue your ass.
Yeah, assign a value to the items, to your belongings. If you're unable to unsuccessfully retrieve your things, whether the police are just trash or whatever, assign a value to all the things that are missing. Take that shit to court. Anyway, that's all I got.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
So, you know how people are like, oh, you just don't know what you want. You just don't know what you want when it comes to like being in relationships and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that that's necessarily fair, because I feel like everything I want changes at some point in my life.
Yeah.
Like at some point in my life, I like people that are this way, or I want this, or whatever the case may be. And then like 5 years later, it's something completely different. I feel like we need to be accepting about the fact that like I
People
feel
change.
exactly. And I don't feel like people should hold themselves like, oh, but I only want this, and now I only stated I wanted that, and now that I have that, I want this, and that's not fair. No, you're okay. It's okay to change your mind on what it is that you feel you want.
Yeah.
As you grow older, things change. And I think that we need to stop being so hard on ourselves and being like, I only want this, and I shouldn't change my mind.
Look,
regardless of the scenario.
I'm of thought that you don't know what you don't know sometimes.
Facts.
Also. And sometimes like you end up getting exposed to new things and then learn that you like something that you've never experienced
Facts.
before. And I
Facts.
just think that the more we explore, the more we grow, the more we learn about what we like and what we don't like. I think through negative experiences, things that we once liked, we all of a sudden don't like anymore. Like that, I feel that that's a natural change. But I feel like when people do give you the harsh criticism, like, oh, the reason why your relationships don't work out is because you don't know what you want.
Exactly.
I don't think that's a fair criticism.
It's not.
But I do feel that there are people out there that are putting the cart before the horse, meaning that they want to jump in full-blown relationships and they're not necessarily clear on what their own standards are. And that's always like a recipe for disaster, in my opinion, just generally speaking.
But I was just saying that to say that, you know, there's times where it's okay to not know.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I just think that the social responsibility is that if you don't know what you want and you're not really clear on your boundaries, that it's important not to get knee deep involved with people.
Facts.
I think that's a responsibility that we should all try
and be
to
okay
apply.
be okay with accepting that what you want today may not be what you want tomorrow.
Yeah. If you're not sure, don't be ashamed of it. Just be straight up. Like, I'm not sure. Don't get bullied to be into serious relationships.
Word up.
If you don't want to be in one, like, just, you know, it's okay.
It's okay to figure things
not
out.
know. Yeah.
And it's okay to state that to someone else too. It's okay to be like, I'm not sure where we're at or where I want it to be, or even if this is what I want. I just want to make sure that we're getting to know each other to the point that when I do figure that out, I can be vocal about that as well.
And not to make this sexist, but I'm just speaking from experience. We women are really good at pressuring people into doing things that they're not necessarily ready for. They're not necessarily sure about, because we're so one track minded sometimes with what's in front of us and what we want and what this could be and the potential. And we just need that
and we think
other
that we can
person.
change people's minds.
We just need that other person to be on board with this plan in our head. And we tend to lack respect for another individual's life path and their freedom of choice and their freedom of decision. And sometimes we can be very pressuring for titles and all those things. But I feel on the flip side, like I got a homegirl that's dating someone she met on an app, and he's been very critical of her, making some like, oh, you're very scatterbrained, or oh, you're very this, or you're very that. And I'm just like, this is too new for you to even be fucking commenting on who I am as a person or calling a person weird or anything like that. You know, I just feel like there's so much different shit out there. If you and this person ain't on the same page, you don't have to turn it into a criticism thing about
Keep
that
it
person.
moving.
Just recognize it's not a good fit. It might be a lapse in timelines for the two of y'all or something. Who knows? But I think this goes back to the original point of body shaming.
Get the fuck out of my head. I was just going to say this kind of goes full circle all the way around to say that you don't
focus on yourself.
Yeah,
Focus
bruh.
on yourself. Focus on what's in front of you. If things aren't a good fit, you know, just keep it pushing. Find a way to keep it pushing, and don't take that negative energy and spew it at other people, man. Just live a happy, peaceful life. Try your best to do it every day. I'm trying to practice that every day. I'm not perfect, but yeah, like life's too short to be out here trying to be judge, jury, executioner, and all that shit.
Yep.
Anyway, I need a snack, so I think I'm done.
Snack time.
I want to thank everybody for listening to today's podcast episode.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for all the interactions. And next week, we are going to be featuring some guys I've been knowing for a long time that are a really big staple in the local hip hop world here in Tampa. They have clothing lines. They have a printing company. It's Debonair District, Surreal Styles, like that whole collective. I don't know if Roscoe with I Love Driving Slow will be joining us, but they're all part of this collective group of creators. So they reached out to us. I'm really, really excited to have them. Yeah, that's going to be great. All right. Anything else, you guys? All right.